All right, so my name's David Perry. I've been in the video game industry an awfully long time, so I'm considered one of the old people now. And currently I'm consulting with a bunch of different companies. I'm making some companies and working with Asian game developers. And my official title right now is the Chief Creative Officer of Acclaim Games, which is a new publisher that just got formed. I think the video game industry is going online whether you like it or not. It's something that's kind of snuck its way up on us, where there were some great online games, of course, but if you look at each console, every single one of them is an online console now, and even the handhelds with their Wi-Fi connections are online too. So, you know, as an industry, this is something that's just kind of come along, and now the companies are all experimenting with their in-game stores. So Xbox Live is such a wonderful service, and the PlayStation Network is you know, they're doing their best, they're catching up, and then you have Nintendo's whole system, which is, you know, tells me the weather and all that kind of stuff, which is great. But you know, they're I think at third place right now. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they're all experimenting and learning. And I think when they're ready, and we're going to have to wait until they're ready, but when they feel like they've got it down and the system is working perfectly, then that's when you're going to see them switch over to no media anymore. Everything will be downloadable, and you'll have entire libraries available to you of games. And that's kind of cool. It's kind of compatible with the future of music. If you think about music, the concept of ownership for kids today is going to change. So, you know, I'm used to owning everything I buy. I have to buy every DVD. I have to buy every CD. But in the future, we already have some companies, Rhapsody and people like that, where you pay a subscription and then you have every song available that's, you know, ever been recorded, because they keep adding to it. So Netflix did that with DVDs. Suddenly I'm paying a subscription and now I have every movie available to me. I think it would be a mistake not to think that's going to happen to the game business too. It's such a disruptive concept that it's something very convenient for the consumer. You know, I pay a fee to Sony and now I can play every game ever made on the PlayStation. So will that happen? I don't know, but I'm predicting it will. So when it will happen, I'm not sure. So we have to wait and see. It's a very valid point. If you think about it from my point of view, my main thing which drives me is learning. So I love to learn new things, and when I do it, I jump in with both feet. So I'm trying to understand the casual market. And when I say casual, I don't mean Sudoku and Minesweeper and Solitaire. I'm thinking, you know, Guitar Hero and that kind of stuff. The stuff that is opening our market up. I find that very interesting, and I like the idea of free games, and there's nowhere better to learn about that than to look at Asia and understand all of that. So that's what I'm doing, you know. I think this kind of phases. I'm one of these people that you can be a developer or you can be a business guy. I'm trying to walk the line very carefully. So each time I either go full hardcore into game design. So I was going to make a game for Atari. If they had funded it, I would have done it, and that game would have been the next MDK or the next Sacrifice, because it had ideas in it that you hadn't experienced before. Does that mean I won't ever do that? No, not at all. I will get back to doing this kind of games. But there's a few other things that I'm finding very interesting right now that I'm experimenting with. And I can't really talk about them at the show because I'm experimenting, but I haven't got any answers yet. So if I was to speak here 12 months from now, I'm going to have answers. So you know, I'm looking at social networks and all that kind of stuff and how that impacts the game industry. And you know, the point is, for me, just doing the same kind of cycle over and over actually gets a bit tiring. I want to always be doing new things, and that's why I will get back to doing. I'm sure I'll get back to doing you know, really funky game design ideas, but I tend to do some kind of process where we bring in lots of money in, so then I can afford to do that without stressing anybody out. Because when I start a project like that, it's always very high risk. So MDK or Earthworm Jim or any of those games were all very high risk, and so it's a little more comfortable when you know you've got the funding behind it.